Take a deep breath in, exhale slowly, and send those questions out to the universe, especially letting them float and linger long enough so that I can pick up on the frequency of them, so that I can hone in and give an accurate reading for the collective as we settle in here. Okay, let's get started. I think I've said everything I need to say. I've got the recording going. I need to decide what deck we're going to go to. What deck? I feel like it needs to. I said, I feel like we need to shake things up a bit. I am not going to Ghost and Spirits because for some reason or another, that deck has been more challenging than it has been in past years for me. I was just talking to Elizabeth. Is Elizabeth here? I was just talking, not that Liz, but the other Elizabeth Berkeley, about that strange phenomenon of I've read with this deck for 3 years now. Why is now in the third year it's more challenging? And I think it's just because I continue to deepen my knowledge of tarot. So I look at a Five of Swords and I have a lot of ideas in my head about what that Five of Swords is based upon my teachings. And then when I go to a deck that doesn't necessarily stick to the archetypes, they're picking a ghost, and that had to be challenging just from the get-go. They're picking a ghost and a spirit to go with each one of the 78 cards. So sometimes the ghost and the spirit, I can see, oh yeah, direct dot to dot, I can see that correlation. But sometimes I'm like, ooh, they are really stretching on this one, and I don't see how this character relates at all now that I know enough to know about tarot. And I think that's why it's so challenging for me. So even though some of y'all who have been with me for 4 years now are used to seeing that Halloween deck throughout the month of October, today has been a morning already. Today has been a day already, and it's only 11 something. Today has been a day, and I'm not going to challenge myself because I don't have to challenge myself. So I'm going to vice versa tarot. Let me spotlight myself. Hi, Nell. Michaela. Hey, I'm looking at the crowd before I move the screen so I can't see y'all. I hope I see you, Miss King, while I'm in Denver. Yay. I try not to have favorites, but I'm going to say you're one of my favorite people to read for when I come to Denver because of the group of non-physicals that you bring with you that I get to sit with. So I'm always honored to be able to sit with that group when I read for you. So, but I don't have favorites. You didn't hear it from me. Nobody spread that word. I don't have favorites except Michaela. I do have that one favorite, but I don't have favorites. Y'all know what I'm saying. All right, let's go. Vice versa tarot. For those of you that are unfamiliar with this tarot, it has images on both sides of the tarot. Normal, standard images that we're used to, and then a what if you were standing in the scene? What else would be visible or able for you to see, to pick up to that gives more depth and breadth to the messages, gives a different little take on what it is. And of course, I have to try to kind of distract my vision so I'm not looking at the cards because there's pictures on both cards and I want spirit to draw the cards, not me. So let me just look at my stilling and my unicorn in the corner. I do have a unicorn in the corner, y'all. It really shouldn't be in the corner, but I ran out of space. So George is his name and he's sitting in the corner and he's okay over there. He's okay. I only pulled 4 cards today. Interesting. First up, let's get right into it. 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands. An individual that looks as if they are dressed for travel. On a parapet. Y'all know where I learned that word from? I watched Alexander Hamilton about 25 times, and that's one of the words in the lyrics. I love that. I love that musical so much. Anyway, looking out, the sun is coming up. He's holding an orb in his hand. I always think that orb symbolizes the world. That song, he's got the whole world in his hand, comes to mind. It can symbolize a lot of things. 2s represent choices, decisions, balance. This feels more like the Three of Wands, but the Three of Wands, they're sitting in a, no, this is the Two of Wands. No, this is the right one. Yeah, I'm all discombobulated. Two of Wands. Hold on, I'm going to show you what it means before I read the book, and we'll see what the book says it means. The Two of Wands, a choice needs to be made. He's preparing to embark on a new voyage. He's dressed for travel. This, for me, symbolizes, are you going to choose the comfortable path, the been there, done that path, which might still be serving you? This is not a you should be choosing one over the other. This is just I'm telling you what choices are available. Because this path, the one that's leaning against the wall, it represents a path, represents something that he's already done. And so that is why this wand is leaning against the wall. Wands, think of this in the term of a walking stick because that's how he's using it. It's going to give him stability and guidance on his travels. This is the one he's already used. He's already been familiar with this. It's resting against the parapet. He's thinking about taking a new journey, embarking on something new. He still hasn't left. He's still within the castle walls. The sun is coming up. He probably needs to leave soon, but he still hasn't left, which means although he is leaning towards making the decision for the one that is in his hand, he hasn't actually made the final decision because we don't see him walking along the path yet. So he's still in that decision-making mode, although he is leaning towards choosing the path, this one, the new one. Let me get it right. The new one here, the one that he's grabbing in his hand represents new, fresh, something that he hasn't done before. And that's what he's leaning towards in this moment. But because that other one, the one that he has already done, been there, done that, is so close to him and leaning against the wall, it's not in storage, it's not back in his room, it's still there. That represents it's still a viable choice. And again, there is no right or wrong here in this particular card. It's just showing you the choices that are available. Are you going to keep doing the same thing that you've been doing? If it's serving you, hell yes. Do you want something different, something new, something exciting? Then you might be reaching for that one that has, I don't know, written all over it, that has the unknown, exploration written all over it. Let's see what it says from the book. This side, a wealthy nobleman stands upon the battlements of his castle, looking out upon the mountainous vista before him. The sun is setting. Oh, it's setting. I thought it was rising. The sun is setting, gliding the scene with a glorious light. The man holds a living wand in his left hand and another wand. This one is in bloom as well as in leaf, stands at his side. The blossoming wand might be emerging from the stonework or just leaning against the parapet. Either way, it seems to be yearning toward the sun. With his right hand, the man levitates a golden orb, that's the orb he's holding in his hand, which mirrors the sun's splendor. When you get this side in a reading, the things you have set in motion are prospering. Observe the timing closely as you proceed. Recognize that time spent thinking and observing is just as important as taking active steps. There is nothing that needs doing just now. You can be confident of your success. So that's the meaning from the card and from the author. I love that. And because it's wands, I'm going to mention when it says thinking and observing sometimes is just as valuable as moving into action. Wands are action cards in the tarot. However, it's always inspired action, not just any old kind of action, but inspired action. Does this feel like inspiration? Does this feel like spirit tapping me on the shoulder? Does this feel like a yes from the universe? Then take that action. That's inspired action. Next up, we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups. See that sun moon image? You'll see that a lot in older pieces of artwork and also in some decks of tarot. And I did a little research on this, and that's just how they used to draw suns back in the day. That's how they used to draw those celestial energies back in the day. Because I've had somebody, it was a long time ago, either I read it somewhere or the question was, why do they always draw the moon on the face of the sun? And that's why. That's just how they, remember when you were a little kid, how did you used to draw a sun? Big old yellow circle and those spokes coming out. Yep, exactly. It's the same thing. For whatever reason, that's just how they used to draw suns back in the day. I don't know why you needed that information, but I'm a wealth of useless information this morning. Eight of Cups. This individual is walking away. Eight of Cups often represents your need to walk away and leave something behind, leave something in the past. We get that message all the time. let go of what's no longer serving you, cut cords, release, surrender, move on. But this one has an additional meaning because when you look at how those 8 cups are stacked, it looks like one is missing. It looks like this particular configuration is supposed to be for 9 cups, yet we only have 8. This gives the additional message that sometimes we have to walk away even when it feels as if there is something unfinished. Even when it feels like something is still missing, I haven't tied a bow on this situation, I have no resolution, this doesn't feel complete to me, and Spirit in this moment is saying, there is nothing more you can do in this moment to bring that sense of closure. It is time for you to move on. There's just nothing else. Maybe someone else is holding that 9th cup, and it's not your job to wrangle it from their fists to bring closure to the situation. It's your job to walk away because this situation is no longer serving you. You did everything that you could do. You cleaned the cups up, you dusted off the debris, you set them upright, you stacked them in the best way you could. You did your part. And now, regardless of what is left unfinished, Spirit is saying it is time for you to move on. At this time, there is nothing more you can add to this situation. I know it feels unfinished. If you're a Virgo, bless your heart, because you're going to have even a tougher time walking away from something that's not finished. If you got OCD, you're going to really want to put that last cup in place. And I got a little bit of both, y'all. But Spirit is saying it is not your place. It is not the time. It is not part of your journey to stick around in this situation any longer trying to complete it. It is time to move on. Ask yourself as you hear that message, what area or situation in your life does that apply to? What area or situation in your life does that apply to? And then we have the Chariot. Overarching major arcana card, but not just any chariot. Here we see his butt side. 2 butts, y'all. We got 2 butts in a row. We're looking at the backside of both these individuals. And this is the Chariot leaving us. So this would be the Chariot approaching, and this would be the Chariot leaving. 2 messages of leaving. I'm definitely going to go to the book to see what is meant by the other side in this one. But what I find is very interesting, maybe he's the one with the 9th cup. Maybe he took the cup and he's leaving too. So both of these individuals have the ability to bring closure to the situation, but it is not their place. And both of them are going their separate ways and just leaving the situation. He's taking his little cup with him, and the 8 of Cups is walking on without that cup being in place. And they both decided that it is in their best interest to move on. To move on. I am going to read the Chariot. That side. The charioteer's red cloak bears the sign of Cancer, ruled by the moon, which he also wears on his shoulder armor. Intuition, not logic, is where he finds the strength to continue forward despite obstacles to shoulder on. Broken chains trail behind the chariot. I don't know if y'all picked that up. It's right there. There's a rune here. Does anybody know runes? What is that rune? I'm pretty sure that's a rune with what looks like a stylized R on it. If you know what that rune is, please put it over in chat because I feel it's standing out to me. I feel like it has meaning. But let's read on. Broken chains trail behind the chariot's wheels, but the most of road. As the chariot charges ahead, the road falls away into the vastness of a cosmic void. Or it could be that the path only exists at all in front of the chariot, brought only into being by the will and vision of the driver. In either case, the only way to go is. Oh, I love that so much. When you get this side in your reading, the more mystical nature of your journey is demanding attention. If you've been focusing only on mundane detail, A to point B, the importance of this transition could be missed. Continue forward along your chosen path, but listen to your intuition more than your logic. Be aware of what was holding you back Mm, you may not even have noticed that you are now free. I really like that one. You may have not even noticed that you are now free. Moving forward, that's 7, the charioteer. Radio. Is that the name of the car? Is that the name of the room? Okay. And then the last card is, oh no, this is fucking fascinating. I hadn't even looked to see what the last card is. I got to put my book down so I can hold all these cards up. This is definitely a story. Somebody write this story and tell me what happened. 8 of Cups, missing cup. Charioteer, 1 lone cup, could be the missing cup. And then we have the 9 of Cups. I hadn't even looked down to see that this was the last card. The 9 of Cups, where we have all 9 cups now upright. And he's definitely in a palace. Look at those chandeliers. Very well dressed nobleman. This is definitely a story. A story waiting to be. Is that the same? Is that the same castle from a different view? I don't know. I don't know, but it's definitely quite the story. 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups in Tarot has the meaning of wishes fulfilled, dreams fulfilled, everything is coming up roses kind of feeling. It's one step before completion, but it's close enough to completion that not only can you see the light, you can kind of put your hand out and wiggle your fingers in the light. You're that close to completion. So this 9 of Cups represents that joyful, I know, I now know. Now, I'm not hoping and wishing like maybe a 4 or a 3 or a 6. I now know. I know that it's mine. I know that I can partake of it. I'm just waiting for the final curtain call or waiting for everything to fill up. I'm not hoping that it will fill up. I can see these cups being poured into, and I'm just waiting for them to reach a level where I can drink out of them. That's what the feeling of the 9 is. I know it. I feel it. It's a done deal. I don't have any more questions about it. I don't have any more doubt about it. It is the fulfillment, but it's still in the process of the cups. They're still being full. The cups are still being poured into. A 10 is when they're ready and it's all over and now you're ready to partake. So 9 of Cups. A duke in gorgeous array admires his exquisite golden chalices. Each one is a masterpiece, and the collection has taken time to acquire. It sure has, which makes it all the more precious to him. All of his earthly possessions have been chosen with love, not greed. He pursues that which makes him happiest rather than that which will make him richer. Beauty and the pleasure that beauty brings to others fills his heart with joy because his quest is blissful bliss. Because his quest is blissful, bliss is what he finds. We know that to be true, it's just worded in a different way. You can't have a happy ending to a troublesome path. Because his path is blissful, bliss is what he finds. That's the 9. When you get this side in your reading, this is known as the wishing card. It's a sign that you will get what you wish for. And yes, you do need to be careful. More importantly, don't squander your wish. What will bring the greatest, deepest happiness to you over the long run? Not just fleeting pleasure, but joy after joy your whole life long. Think about that and then focus on that so you can have more of that every step of the way along your journey. So those are the oracle cards for today. I'm going to really sit with that. That could be a whole fictional story with just the way those cards are laid out. I just really love how they all link together with the 8 and the missing cup, the chariot, where the chariot does not have a cup represented on it, except in this deck where he's got just 1 cup in the chariot with him, which you cannot see had we drawn it the normal way. You can only see it on the reverse. So I just find that is so significant. And then all the 9 cups together with the wishes being fulfilled card coming towards the end of our week. So focus your thoughts, focus your emotions, focus your wish list. Make your wish list crystal clear to the universe. Don't leave it up to the universe to guess. And so many of us do that, and we think we're doing the right thing when we say things like, Spirit knows better than me, so Spirit, just bring me something that'll make me happy. And Spirit is like, do you know how many humans I'm responsible for? I'm not about to guess with you. Here, try this on. And then we get something we don't like. Okay, be specific about your little Santa Claus wish. Remember when you used to send letters to Santa? Some of y'all did, some of y'all didn't. I never did. That wasn't my upbringing. But if you used to send letters to Santa, even at that young age, you knew what you wanted. You had watched enough commercials, played with enough friends who had that toy. You knew what you wanted. You did not put on your list, Santa, bring me toys. Love, Alex. No, you knew exactly which toys you wanted, and that's what you wrote on that list. Do the same thing with the universe. Don't leave it up to the universe to try to guess at what you want. Make that list so that towards the end of this week, you can step into that Nine of Cups energy because you know what you want, the universe knows what you want, and it's a done deal. Nine of Cups coming your way. But you got to get in that energy of knowing what you want and being specific enough that the universe can step in and fill in the details for you and make it something very enjoyable. Nine of Cups, wishes fulfilled. What are your wishes? What are your wishes? Put them out there. Spirit saying, Spirit just said, I got some time this week. I can do a couple of extra wishes. That's not really how Spirit operates, but that's the energy I'm feeling. That's the energy I'm feeling. If you have been feeling like, for some reason, over the last 10 days, 10 months, 10 years, you feel like you haven't been answered, Spirit is like, now's your time. Now is your time. Now is your time. Get specific. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want, and let Spirit fill it in. Out of Darkness. The next deck is Divine Circus by Alana Fairchild. And the card is number 2, Out of Darkness. We started with the 2 with Tarot, with that 2 of Wands, and now we have a 2 with our first Oracle card, Out of Darkness. Let me see what this message is. Something that has been troubling you, something dark within you or in your life, is about to become something else. You won't see it coming, but when the time is right, and it soon will be, out of darkness will come new life. A seed of new life is growing. Perhaps you cannot see it or feel it because the seed begins its journey to new life in the darkness, hidden, away from sight and away from light. This seed is destined to bring new life to a situation that might seem to be dying. A fresh perspective to a stale problem. When the time is right, and that is and reveal itself, it will no longer be just a seed, but a shoot that will grow into a plant and can then flower and bear fruit. It is not a question of whether or not it is going to happen. It is going to happen. It is just a matter. And twice, I'm telling you, now is the week to put your wishes out to the universe. The universe is saying, I don't know what's going on in energetically, alignment wise, but 2 cards telling us, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? The answer is yes. Some of y'all did that, man. What? Whatever struggle or challenge is in your life or your heart right now, trust that it is going to work out. Not only that, but the very thing that seems to be the darkest in your life, the most troublesome, is actually going to be what brings forth a beautiful gift of new life. In a strange way, it is actually trying to help you. It is assisting you in being ready to receive and experience new life, for something new to be born in you and in your life. This might be the realization of your own inner strength, your courage, the development of a belief in yourself, confidence to trust your instincts, or some other gift yet to be understood. In time, you'll see those gifts developed in order to get through the darkness, help you step up out of the darkness and into a whole new life. Soon you'll see there was an opportunity and even a blessing hiding in the troubles of your past, just waiting for the right time to transform itself into light and life. I love that. Here's an affirmation for you to help you hold on to the energy of this message. At the perfect time and in the perfect way, I conquer all with love and life. I rise. I applied the inspiring message for us twofold, first with the Nine of Cups and now with that card. I love it. New moon on the 31st and the 1st. So a great timing for this message. Yes, to really ask yourself, what is I want? What is I want? It's all in line with setting intentions with that new moon. I didn't realize we had the new moon on Halloween. Oh, y'all know I got to do a post about that. What should I do? Should we do a meditation for Halloween? A card pull? I don't know. What do y'all want to hear for Halloween? Um, it'll definitely be something that I do on social media because I'm not doing an event on Halloween this year. Maybe a meditation. I don't know. Let me all know over in chat. What would y'all like to receive from me on Halloween? Can you repeat that, please? I'm not sure what I said when that letter came through. When that message came through. Y'all all want meditation? Can you repeat that, please? That was the I put it away already. That was the two. What was that card called? Darkness. Out of darkness. Out of darkness. New light. Out of darkness. New light and new life. And sometimes the problems, the gifts that you develop in order to get yourself through the darkness tend to be the gifts that you needed to develop or the gifts that actually help propel you through life. And I'll give you an example of that. Trauma gave me humor. I had to laugh my way through some traumatic, very traumatic situations in my life. But now look, I get to bless y'all all with my dry wit and humor. So sometimes the skills that you develop as you're trying to get yourself out of darkness tend to be those skills that stay with you and become something that you can gift other people or help other people with. So I believe that was the meaning of that card. Let's see. If you have questions, again, this is the Oracle part. I never did this before. I did it once on a whim and now it's just kind of stuck and I'm really enjoying it. So I hope you all are enjoying this format as well. If you have questions or things going on in your life, situations that you would like additional guidance on, please put it over in chat. I'm not saying I will get to it, but if I feel guided to answer those questions through the rest of the Oracle cards that we pulled today, I will definitely try to craft the message in such a way that it answers your questions. Let's see. What other deck? Beyond Lemuria will definitely be a deck that we will do. And I'm going to start with spell casting. Let's stay with the little Halloween-ish theme. Halloween this week. I'm excited. My grandkids have their Halloween costumes. My daughter found someplace where she could get discounted costumes. So they have like costumes, not like the $10 Walmart costumes, but they have like some pretty nice costumes. So we're going to have fun this Halloween. I took the whole day off. I know it's on a day when y'all usually get to schedule with me, but not this year. I took the whole day off. I'm doing trunk or treat at the grandkids. Listen to this shit. Trunk or treat. Y'all know trunk or treat, right? It's supposed to be a safe alternative to knocking on strangers' doors where parents either open up their trunk or in my case, I'm driving a minivan, I'll open up the side door and kids come up to your vehicle in a secure lot and get candy. Most of y'all know how that works. They're having one at the kids' school. I just have to vent, y'all. I know I'm supposed to be doing a reading. They're having one at the kids' school. And I'm like, yeah, sign me up. That sounds like fun. I'll decorate the van with like bright colors and unicorn because I'm going as a unicorn this year. Unicorns, it'll be fun. And my daughter, like, after I signed up for it, she's like, okay, so make sure you're buying candy. I'm like, yeah, I'll stop by Sam's Club or whatever. I'll get a bag of candy. 600 kids. Make sure you're buying enough candy for 600 kids. I'm like, sure, no problem. I actually priced that shit. We're talking about $70 to $100 on candy, with each one of those kids getting one piece of candy. I'm gonna buy a bag of M&Ms and they're gonna get an M&M a piece. That's what's gonna happen there. What the what? What? One M&M per child. And Liz had the same idea. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't think them kids are gonna get candy this year. I don't know what they're gonna get. Maybe a penny. Maybe I'll just toss some pennies at them. I don't know. Happiness is the card from spellcasting. Can you imagine that? They want now what they should have done is said, bring enough candy for your children, enough for a classroom full, or even enough for a grade full. But enough for everybody in the whole school to get a piece of candy? No, ma'am. No, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. That's what they say on the Instagram now. No, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. I don't know what them little kids are gonna do when they come up to the unicorn who ain't got candy for them. I'll do a dance for them. Everybody will get a dance for Halloween. How about that? Happiness. Let me get back on track. Happiness. In the quest for happiness, you need to decipher what it is that truly gives you a cheery disposition. This may be through a loving relationship, securing a top job, gaining popularity, acquiring new clothes, purchasing a shiny car, being surrounded by pets, or going on holiday. Yet the key to happiness is to see joy and perfection in absolutely everything, which in turn gives you a buzz of magic from deep within. The feeling of elation is what you wish to experience. So focus on the positive and be the one to turn frowns upside down. Get everyone smiling. When you choose happiness, your mood is elevated and you tap into a limitless supply of joy. Happy days. Love it. The magical meanings of drawing this card during a reading: good news arrives, happiness is yours, a happy outcome is assured. That's Nine of Cups again. An event has a very happy outcome, or actively seek out situations that are positive and uplifting. So that message was from Spellcasting Oracle card. Buy for 30 kids and then give the rest IOUs. I could do that. Rip up a little piece of paper. I'll get you next year, son. I'm not even gonna say next year. I'll get you before you graduate high school. How about that? Because y'all got me twisted if you think I'm gonna buy candy for 600 children. I'm sorry, but that's a lot. I don't want to go to this deck. This deck is not feeling resonant. I'm gonna go to this deck. I'm gonna go to the deck I said I was gonna go to, Beyond Lemuria. I don't know. I'm gonna come up with something. I'll figure something out. I did not have this budgeted. I had $20 budgeted. I'm thinking $20, big bag of candy.
What
Sure.
about pencils?
Pretzels?
No,
Is that what
pencil.
you said?
Pencil.
Pencil. Oh, I could get unicorn themed pencils. That's still 600 pencils. I don't know. I'd have to price it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is kind of a lot.
Okay, Beyond Lemuria is the deck that we're going with next. Let's see, Spirit. Is it that card? Or is that card just sticking out? Let's try that again. What messages do you have for us of guidance? Oh, as soon as I said it, card popped out. Let's see what it is. Healing. Look at all the rainbow colors. Healing. Card number 30. Card number 30. I want to make sure I'm not missing. If anybody's put any questions over in the chat. Okay. Card number 30, healing. Let's see what that message is about. Here's the keywords: energy, rebalance. How many of y'all have been feeling that you need to rebalance lately? I have been having that message come up repeatedly. I think I'm doing okay with balancing my energy, but I just keep getting this message every time I tap in and read for the collective, which I've been doing daily now on Instagram. So shameless self-plug. Start following me on Instagram because I'm starting to do daily posts on there, and they're daily tarot card pulls. So you might enjoy that. Between your Mondays, you might enjoy having a little tap in with the tarot. But that card I got 2 days in a row, I got the justice card, and the energy that I got from justice was about bringing things back into balance. And here we have another card talking about energy rebalance, energetic awareness, healing yourself and others, exploring healing modalities, Reiki, the chakra system, your unique and innate ability to heal, color vibration, soul sovereignty, auras and the meridian system, and aligning to highest good and optimal health. Let's see, very long read, so I'm trying to catch the main points of this card. It really just talks about all the different ways of healing. So it talks about, I'll read the first paragraph and then I'll kind of skip through the other forms that it talks about. The Lemurians were well versed in the practice of healing arts. Yes, I had a past life in Lemuria, by the way. They were naturally intuitive and accustomed to navigating energetic-based realities. We all have natural healing abilities that are advanced when we deepen our energetic awareness. When we perceive the world beyond our more well-known senses, we start to receive information and wisdom that is different from that which stems from intellect. By tapping into life force consciousness and using this abounding energy alongside focused intention, we find that anything is possible. And so then it talks about the different forms of healing. It talks about natural healing. It talks about healing modalities that work with high vibrational energies. It talks about energetic healing based on the meridian system or the chakra system. Color healing, that's a new one. No, it's not a new one for me. It is a new one that is being now mentioned and becoming more mainstream. Color, understanding that each color of the spectrum holds its own frequency. And so color and frequency healing are very tightly intertwined. Crystal healing, and then it says many tools can help us restore our centered state of balance and our access to our life force power. So think about that. Think about healing in the way of bringing your system back online and back into balance. And what modality or tools do you want to use to do that? Another shameless self plug, since the book mentioned it, color and frequency, high frequency. Stephanie Gray and myself are adding back to the calendar beginning in November our frequency, intention, and art, where not only do we create we create a vortex, is how I feel it, a vortex of this frequency. We send that frequency out to anyone who has joined us for that particular session. And then we all sit and create, generally art, but it can just be scribbles on a piece of paper. We all sit and create in that frequency. And no, this is not about art. It's about the practice of allowing yourself to sit in high frequency and then allowing that frequency to channel through you and then out onto a piece of paper. It's really about channeling the energy. And what we find as we've done more of these sessions, what we are finding is that no matter where the people are across the US, we had one lady, we also burn high frequency incense. We had frankincense going, and we all sit in silence. And after the session, she was like, as I was arting, I was smelling this. I was smelling frankincense, and we were like, holy shit, we were burning frankincense. How did you smell that? Spirit. Spirit is putting us all on the same frequency level and giving us access to whatever is on that plane, whatever is on that frequency. We've had, again, we sit in silence during those. And when we get into the share portion, oftentimes we've all used either the same color scheme or we're all drawing the same shape, or we've all got reference to a specific energy. For some reason, frogs was coming up one time. One person had drawn something that looked like a frog. Another person had the idea or a thought of a frog, and somebody was using green. And it's just really, really interesting how frequency really does matter. When we were all tapped into the same frequency, even though we were silently working hundreds of miles away from each other, there were still similarities and synchronicity with what we shared in the end there. All right. So that is coming up on November 17th. November 17th. Frequency, Intention, and Color with myself and Stephanie Gray. Get yourself some high vibes. This next card is coming from the deck Witch's Wisdom, staying with the Halloween theme. Witch's Wisdom. And we have Staff is the name of the card. And Stability. As I look at this card, I am being told that my internet connection is unstable. As I look at this card, it reminds me of a kind of a combination of the tarot cards. So I'm seeing wands in that, see how he's grabbing that wand? It's like the Two of Wands. Maybe he's on the other side, like he's actually on his journey now and he's got this wand in his hand to bring him stability as he goes on his journey. The mountains there, the mountains were represented in the tarot card as he looked out. And then the path itself looks kind of like the path that the charioteer was on. That was kind of this disintegrating behind his chariot and appearing before his chariot. And then, of course, on the ring, we have pentacles. Staff, stability. Let's see. What do we need to know? The little incantation says, merrily you've rolled along, whistling tunes and singing of song. Stability gets you back on track. Enjoy the ride and don't look back. The magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. Enjoy the ride and don't look back. That's the idea of moving forward. Just like the charioteer, he was focused on going forward. Your eagerness to get to your destination has caused you to stumble and veer off course. Do I need to say that again to the people in the back? Your eagerness to get to your destination has caused you to stumble and veer off course. Your lack of focus tipped the balance. Your need to be centered and grounded calls for stability to accomplish you along the rugged terrain. Stability slows you down, reminding you that the experiences you face along the way are what matters. Whether good or challenging, you are in safe hands with the staff as your guide and teacher. Staff will direct you valiantly through unfamiliar territory. You are being redirected to get back on track. So although it may seem like a long, hard struggle and a never-ending journey, you are merely being guided via miscalculated diversion back to your true pathway. You have come a long way, so please don't give up. You're nearly there now, and with the foundations of stability, you walk with you. With the foundations of stability to walk with you, you can't put a wrong foot. The witch's foresight. Don't let a temporary diversion from your path stop you. You're back on track, so keep going. Be firm in your convictions and commitment. Don't let others divert you from your truth and beliefs. You've come a long way, so don't give up. And keep going, you're almost there. And then finally, the staff revealed. This section says, the staff has always been carried throughout the ages as a magical tool of power and authority. It is a symbol of male energy and the elements of earth, air, and fire. In Scottish witchcraft of a circle representing spirit. In some traditions, only the high priestess or high priest can carry a staff. Interesting. I like that. I've been watching the latest Lord of the Rings. What's it called? Rings of Power. Rings of Power, where they finally got to the part. Spoiler alert, don't listen, cover your ears. I'm about to spoil it. They finally got to the point where they revealed that this wizard who was trying to find his staff, find his wand, they finally got to the point where they revealed that it's Gandalf. And I was like, I didn't know Gandalf actually chose, like there was a whole episode with him just choosing his wand. I didn't realize his wand was that much of a personal tool. And so that made very much sense that not only is a staff used for stability, you know, to keep you stable along your path, and yes, it will slow you down a little bit, but knowing that you are sure-footed and that every foot you place is exactly where it needs to be, I'll slow down a little bit for that. Instead of veering off course, taking 3 months to get back on course, if I'd have just slowed down in the process, I'd have stayed on path and looked for that stability before I took the next step. I would stayed on path. But knowing that in that Celtic tradition, that Scottish tradition, that there's only certain people allowed to carry staffs and that they're considered very magical um, tools. I really like that expanded explanation of what's going on. I had a lot of people saying y'all wanted meditation for Halloween. Somebody put over in the chat, it's time to really make some lists and figure out what I really want, what does happiness look like for me. I will tell you that several times throughout my life I did pause to actually ask myself that question. Sometimes it went into a journal, a lot of times it went into a journal, but sometimes it was just me taking enough time to pause and ask myself that question. And I'll tell you what is most beneficial is after I ask myself that question and write down my list or make a mental list, I go back through the list and I ask myself, is this what you really want, or is this what you want on behalf of someone else or because of someone else's opinions? And I'll tell you that second cross through with the list, there are so many things that fall off that list. Do I really want, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with wanting what you want. Let me say that. Do I really want, this is something that was on my list for a very, very, very long time, is a mansion. That has gone back on my list. But for a very long time, it was a mansion. And when I went through and I made my list of want a mansion, and I go back through and I ask myself, do I really want a mansion? Or do I want a mansion to show my mama and my daddy that I finally did what I said I was going to do and I did it my own way? Do I want a mansion to show all those naysayers that I can have something nice? All those people that doubted me. Do I want a mansion so I can floss a little bit, flexing on my exes, show them that I made it without them? Yes, 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 yes to all of those. But do I want a mansion? And I asked myself that. And for a long time, it was like, I don't think I do. That's a lot of housework. And so I took it off my list. It's back on now because I'm in a different place and I realized that I want that mansion for me. But that's what I mean by going through that list and asking yourself, is this something that I've told myself for a long time is a sign of happiness or a sign of success or a sign of a good relationship? And maybe that information or that viewpoint was never mine. Maybe I'm trying to please somebody else or going by what society says is success. I got to go back through this list and figure out what do I actually want. There's a face in the staff of the card. Oh, interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't ruin that for you. Stephanie says she just started watching Rings of Powers. It is a good series. All right, I know I might go a little bit over, but I'm going to go for it anyway. The universe has got your back. Oh my goodness, please don't listen to an internet psychic. That's me. Listen to the universe. Listen to spirit that is using me as a mouthpiece. Please, please, please. That Nine of Cups. If I had to give an overview of, if somebody said, what was the most important card that came through of all the cards you read today? The Nine of Cups. Wishes fulfilled, prayers being answered, blessings pouring out to you. It is your time. It is your time. It is your time. And those people who show up, palms open, ready to receive, and they know what they are asking for, and they are expecting to receive exactly what they are asking for, those are the people that are going to walk away from this week and saying, oh my God, this was an amazing week. Those people who show up and they just got one hand kind of sorted out and they're like, I don't really know. I just heard there was a line. I don't know what to tell you. Good luck with that. Get specific, ask, and you shall receive. Last card. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. This is from The Universe Has Got Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. And look at those rainbows. All right, those are the messages I am going to leave with you today to help you manifest your life, get what you are asking for out of life. Take these messages to heart. Please apply them in whatever way feels most resonant for you. And remember my November specials. I think I still have them copy pasted. See if I can drop them real quick. Yes, with the scheduling site, please go take advantage of those specials. Share them if you're not in a position to take advantage of them. Share them because I don't know when I'll do rates this low again. Do I have events this week? I do not think I do. I will see you in next Monday. Yes, next Monday. I'll see you next Monday, and then the Monday after that, I'll be in Denver. So see me next Monday so you can get your outlook for November. Please check me out on Instagram because I am starting to do daily tarot card pulls. Love you all. Manifest the shit out of y'all's weeks. Have a good week, everyone. 9 of Cups, wishes fulfilled. I can't wait to come back next week and hear all y'all's wishes that came true. Bye.